Have you ever come across a piece of code that seems to work perfectly, but you just can't wrap your head around how it does? If that's you, you're in the right place. Today, we're diving into C# notation, specifically the select method with int.Parse. I totally get it. It can be really confusing when you see code that looks simple but has some underlying complexities. You're not alone in this. Many developers have faced similar questions when learning C#. Let's take a closer look at the question at hand. One user asked about the notation select int.Parse in their code. They were puzzled because there's no lambda expression and int.Parse isn't called with brackets. Sound familiar? Let's break it down together. So what's happening here? The select method is a part of LINQ, which allows you to project each element of a sequence into a new form. In this case, int.Parse is being used as a delegate to convert strings to integers. Let's clarify this further. And stick around. By the end of this video, you'll not only understand this notation, but also how to apply it effectively in your own code. To understand the notation select int.Parse, we need to recognize that select is a method from LINQ, which stands for Language Integrated Query. It allows the user to project each element of a sequence into a new form. In this case, int.Parse is a method that converts a string representation of a number into its integer equivalent. When used with select, it applies int.Parse to each element in the array. The reason there are no parentheses after int.Parse is that it is being passed as a delegate. This means that select will call int.Parse for each element without needing to explicitly invoke it with parentheses. Similarly, order by math_abs works in the same way. Math_abs is a method that returns the absolute value of a number, and it is also passed as a delegate to order by. Finally, the user can see how these methods work together in the provided code. The input string is split, parsed into integers, ordered by their absolute values, and then the nearest integer to 0 is selected. Fun fact, the select method is one of the most powerful features in LINQ, allowing for elegant and readable code. It's like having a magic wand for transforming data. Now let's look at the answers provided by other users. The user explains that int.Parse is a method that converts a string to an integer. It's actually a method group with different signatures, but the compiler knows to use the one that fits the context. This means you can use int.Parse as a parameter wherever a delegate with the same signature is needed. That's it for that answer. Let's take a look at another one. An alternative approach explains that the select method takes a func parameter, where the first type is the input and the second is the return type. Instead of using a lambda expression, you can directly use a method like int.Parse. This makes the code cleaner and easier to read. The user notes that using int.Parse is equivalent to defining a func that converts a string to an integer. This allows for more concise code, as the language automatically handles the method passing. That's all for that response. Let's see what someone else had to say. The user explains that the select method in LINQ takes a selector function as an argument. In this case, int.Parse is used as the selector, which converts strings to integers. The .NET compiler automatically converts int.Parse into a compatible function type, allowing it to be passed to select. Similarly, the order by method also requires a function as an argument. The user emphasizes that both select and order by can accept standard .NET functions, making them versatile tools in LINQ queries. Here's a pro tip. Always remember that methods like int.Parse can be used directly as delegates in LINQ. This can simplify your code and make it more readable. And there you have it. You now understand the select method with int.Parse and how it works in your code. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe for more coding tips and tricks.